Hi there, welcome to Revive Wellness. We are a website that is geared towards helping others live a healthier lifestyle, whether that's physically, emotionally, spiritually, or even financially. We do it all. Part of what we're going to be looking at today is the financial side of things. And we're going to be asking, is financial freedom a possibility? A lot of us work a full-time job. Sometimes we even work more than one job and more than full-time, and even a few of us take on 3 jobs just to get by. And so we're going to take a look at why people start to look for financial freedom, and we're going to take a look at the types of financial freedom that are out there and what's legit and what's not. So let's get started. So why financial freedom? Well, a lot of the reason people start to kind of look into this field is because retirement is no longer guaranteed. The standard family requires both parents to work now. Minimum wage isn't enough to afford even a studio apartment in some states. Jobs are actually harder to obtain. A lot of companies are cutting people left and right. I can actually vouch for this working in healthcare formerly. Healthcare, speaking of which, is more expensive now than ever. Housing prices are through the roof. Student loan debt for degrees not used is another reason people look into financial freedom. Employers are offering less for a job that is worth more nowadays. And sometimes it's just because people are working more and more and they're just unable to spend quality time with their families and attend important events, and some people just want to travel more. There's tons of reasons why people start seeking out financial freedom. So what are some of the ways that people try to achieve that? So there's a bunch of different ways out there that people try to make money real quick, and here's some of the ones that we came across. The first one is investing in a company. The second one is stocks. Third is Bitcoin. Fourth is direct sales, and fifth is starting up your own business. Which one do people commonly tend to go with? Well, investing in a startup company requires thousands with no guarantee of success, and it isn't one people commonly involve themselves with. The same goes for starting your own business. Most of the time you either need to have money already or take out a loan. For most people, this is way too risky, at least in a way that reaches financial freedom in less than 10 years. Actually, most new businesses fail within the first year. And so this option isn't one that is fairly common, at least as much as we think it would be. Bitcoin and stocks kind of go hand in hand with each other, and the fact that you need to have the knowledge and go through some trial and error to learn how they work. While this trend is developing rather quickly, it still isn't used as often as our last option, which is direct sales. Almost everyone either has or knows of someone who has tried or is involved with direct sales because they hope to obtain financial freedom. With that being said, over 90% of distributors fail, so the question we have to ask, is it really the safest option out there? And then why do so many people fail at this? And is it even possible to achieve in one of these companies? Well, we're going to look at the companies that can help you be successful and the companies that are setting you up for failure. And to be honest, most of them out there are setting you up for failure. So let's talk about why direct sales companies fail most of the time. So a couple factors. Their PGV or CTV is too high. This is another word for sales, which means that a lot of the time when people fail at direct sales companies, it's because the sales quota or PGV CTV is way too high to meet. Another reason is they don't allow personal purchases, PV, which is personal volume, to count towards PGV or CTV. And even the ones that do sometimes, it's way too high for the income you're receiving from the company. Another reason is Some companies force you to create a downline, have loyal customers, and then purchase your own products. Not to mention the market is saturated, and so you're bugging friends and family to make these sales and to be loyal customers. Another reason is people are focused on the products instead of the business plan, which we'll get into. Another reason is people don't commit. And the last final one is that fear tends to reign. So we have all these reasons why direct sales companies fail most of the time, and we're going to really dive into what exactly is embedded in these options here. So we'll start with the sales quota is too high at most of these companies. So before we really get into personal volume and personal group volume, we need to first discuss sales quotas. So every direct sales company says you need to sell a certain amount of products. And the thing to look for is how much are they asking at each rank. If you are just starting out and your company is telling you you need to sell $500 in makeup, we're just using makeup as an example, and let's say makeup is the only thing that your company is having you sell. Well, you sell $500 in makeup and then you move up, let's say. The second month, you're at the next rank and they're like, oh, well, now you need to sell $700 worth. You're going to keep struggling. Companies set these high numbers so they can come out on top. It's even worse, like I said, when they only have one line of products, because people are eventually going to stop buying. You're going to run out of customers to sell to. And furthermore, products are products. People aren't going to want to spend that much each month. Eventually they're going to want to save, and they're going to go through some financial struggle, and that's going to be one of the first things they cut out. So even if you start to move up in rank, there are direct sales companies out there that will increase this quota, making it even more impossible to meet these sales or to even move up in rank. So just because you succeeded that first month, let's say you succeed the second month, and then the third month, all of a sudden, that quota is higher. You did bad that month. You're going to slide all the way back down in rank, and you got to do all that hard work again. So if you're looking for a company that genuinely wants you to move up and rank and succeed, they're not going to set these unreasonable sales quotas, especially right off the bat, and they won't increase them with each rank. If you are part of a company that does this, you need to look at other companies out there that don't have sales quotas until the middle of ranking up, meaning you don't need to worry about customers or selling products until you are established, and this should be about halfway through. So if there's, let's say, 8 ranks, you shouldn't even have to worry about this until you're around the 4th or 5th rank. And you need to look for a company that does not increase their sales quotas with each level, meaning it's not, oh, you need to sell $500. Now you need to sell $700. And if you want to get in the 3rd rank, then it's got to be $1,000. These companies aren't for you. So you really need to look at those things and ask yourself, is my company for me? Are they making this possible for me, or am I being set up to slide back down in rank and not meet these quotas? So like I said, we're going to talk about PV and PGV. So another reason direct sales companies fail is they don't allow personal purchases to count towards PGV. So most of you in direct sales are familiar with something called PV, personal volume. This is another word for personal purchases. PV usually ranges around $100 or 100 PV, but it can be more. In other words, there's a set amount you need to spend on the company's products to meet your personal volume. The companies want you to be able not to just sell the products, but to be educated about how they work based on your own experience with them. You're basically a spokesperson for them. There is something called PGV, CTV, personal group volume, or central team volume, and it's basically your sales quota for how much you need to be selling to customers. The way some companies help their distributors is by allowing them to count personal purchases, PV, towards PGV to meet their goal. So if your PV and your PGV are 100, you've met both requirements. You've met your personal volume and you've met your personal group volume. So some direct sales companies out there, though, are very firm that you need to sell a separate amount to customers, and this really more than anything set you up for failure. And we'll kind of go over that more next. The next question to ask yourself, if your company is allowing your personal purchases to count towards your personal group volume, is how much PGV are they asking? And are they asking me at a time when I won't have that much income coming in? So here's an example. If you're just starting out and your company says your personal group volume is 400, which we just talked about the last slide, they shouldn't even be asking that. They should be waiting until halfway through. You need to either pay $400 to move up, or you need to sell $400 worth of products. Of course, you just started. You do not have $400 coming in. And so this company is one that you can mark off as not in favor of you as a distributor. PGV, like I said, shouldn't kick in until the middle of your rank when it's an affordable option. So if you're at a 4th rank, and let's say the average income for someone at a 4th rank is $2,000 and your PGV is $500. Well, you got $2,000 coming in and you're going to have $1,500 left over. So that is a company that is for you. If they're asking this right off the bat, even if they're quote unquote being nice and saying that, hey, you can count your personal purchases towards your sale purchases, if they're doing it too early, they're still not for you. And even more so, if you guys are part of the company that, like I said, is making you have a separate downline and then keeping your customers separate and then having your own personal purchases separate from all of that, then that company really isn't for you, because there's no way you can succeed that way. And that ties into this part, which is running out of customers. So you have to have this massive downline, and then you have to also have loyal or repeat customers who have auto ship set up. That direct sales company is, again, not for you. They're not out for your benefit. They're out for themselves. You do all the work. You get this great downline going. Let's say you find all these people and your team's building up, but slowly you're going to run out of customers because, I mean, let's be honest, guys. Products can be found anywhere. Your products are great, but in this economy, as mentioned, people are about quick and cheap, and that's kind of why you're in direct sales, is because you want to achieve financial freedom. Well, people who aren't involved in this are going to want to be cheap and save on things, and so they'll probably go to Amazon or wherever. So I get that, yes, your products are great and you should be passionate about what you're selling, but for being realistic, this always leads to bugging friends, family, and even random people, because if you don't meet those sales quotas, you're gonna slide down a rank and you can't move up. Even though you've got this great downline, you could still slide down. And in fact, if a direct sales company is for your benefit, they won't require, keywords require, you to have to buy products for yourself, have a downline, and have to have customers. There are companies out there who allow you to focus on the business and selling the business only without hosting parties, without posting ads, without bugging friends or family members or cold marketing. There's companies out there that say, hey, let's just focus on selling the business and building a downline and only worry about that. Don't worry about customers. Don't worry about sales. And I know it's hard to believe that there's actually direct sales companies out there like that are for you, but there are. You shouldn't ever, even in a normal job, have something that destroys your relationship with those closest to you. And furthermore, if we're gonna be honest here, nobody likes cold marketing. No one likes to message random people. No one likes to bug their friends and family to be a sales quota so they can make sure they have a paycheck coming in. Nobody likes it. This is the most crucial thing ever out of this entire presentation. If you are part of a direct sales company, this is the biggest mistake people make, and it stems from when direct sales businesses first launch. We're talking about like Avon, Mary Kay. Your upline will tell you, because they caught wind from a business that operates entirely differently, that you need to convince people of the products, and then they will do the business. That they will just love these products so much that they will want to do the business. And yeah, it works sometimes, but it seriously makes no sense. If you are working at a retail store, you don't say to a customer, as a customer service associate, Hi there, I see you're looking at some graphic tees. Would you be interested in owning a bunch by opening a franchise with us? That's not your job, right? Okay, so just like you want to go to a business meeting with a bunch of investors for a new company and say, I love these products, the blank or, the pink one, whatever is my favorite. It's just no. Products are products, and to be blunt, again, they can be found anywhere. And your products are great, and it's great to love them and continue to use them, even if you decide that, hey, even if I wasn't a part of this direct sales company, I would still totally use these, and that's great. But if your goal is financial freedom, then why are you focused on sharing products and not the business plan? If you're trying to recruit for a business, don't worry about the product that you're selling. Worry about the business plan. It just shouldn't even matter what you're selling. If I looked at a list of different direct sales companies, honestly, like I said, products can be found anywhere. I would be concerned with, what company has the best and easiest business plan and most achievable business plan? What is the most realistic business plan out of all of this? I wouldn't worry so much about products, but people are taught that because, again, they caught wind from it, because in the 80s, 90s, that is how you would succeed. People weren't as focused on a downline. But the truth of the matter is, nowadays, it's mostly about the downline, and so you should be focused on selling a business plan. Another reason direct sales companies fail is because people just don't commit. People are flaky, to be honest. They want results quick without the hard work, and they get discouraged very easily. They jump from business to business looking for the next best thing out there without doing their research on the company's business plan first. If you are in any direct sales groups on Facebook, you'll notice that a lot of people jump from business to business, and it's because they have this belief that if they get into a direct sales company business early, that they'll come out on top. And why is that? As mentioned, products are products and they can be found anywhere. People think that if they get in early on this new product, people will buy it because it's new, and then they'll move up quickly in rank. And again, people are going to stop buying that product eventually, and eventually you're going to run out of customers, which goes back to bugging friends and family. As mentioned in the last slide, there are direct sales companies out there, hardly any, but they're there, that don't require meeting certain sales quotas and having so many customers. And we'll get to that in a moment. The last reason is because fear reigns. No one likes change, and the older we get, the less we like it. Furthermore, we hate it when we invest all this time and money into something that, although may not be working, and quitting just to start over again. In this case, we act out in fear. We fear starting over. We fear failing again. We fear wasting our time. We fear being set back financially again. But this is why researching is so important. It is crucial to really dig deep and educate yourself on a company's background. It is important to look at things from a business aspect if you're wanting to be successful in a business. We have to use logic when making a decision like that. Can this help me? Is this company for me or for themselves? What is the biggest risk I'll take if I jump in? What is the biggest benefit if I jump in and succeed? You have to look at it as though you're an investor and you are deciding which company to invest in. Never ride on your emotions. So a quick recap: do your research on the business plan for a direct sales company and focus solely on it. Don't worry about the products as much. Study the system. Is it overcomplicated or is it simple? People make direct sales business companies so complicated. They say, you need to do this many parties a month, and you need to talk to this many people, and you need to do this and post that and have advertisements here and a social media account for this, and it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It should really just be very simple. And like I said before, it doesn't matter what's being sold necessarily as long as the business works. You need to research the sales quotas on a business. You need to research if a company allows personal purchases to count towards sales quotas, PV to PGV, If a company requires you to have a downline, your PV, and your customers separately, get out. Ask, how long has this business been around? And then look at how many product lines they have, and then check the average income of a top earner. The higher, the better. And then finally, don't be afraid to make a switch if it's going to benefit you, or afraid of changing the way you do direct sales or changing the company you're with. But if you find a company that works and is legit, then stick with it by all means. So, which direct sales company out there is legit? Well, let's take a look at a few different business plans. So I marked out the business names in these, but we're going to look at a couple really quick. So this one over here, you're going to notice that personal volume right out the bat is $250 or $500 at the next rank. And this is just starting out, so this is probably not a good one. And on top of it, your central team volume is $500. Is this realistic just starting out? No, probably not. This next one here is a little bit more difficult because they don't really list things like PV or anything like that, but they tell you what percentage you're going to get. And the question is, if something is listed and it's not listing the requirements, then it's probably making it it makes it shady, to be honest, because you want to know, what is my personal volume, what is my central team volume, and what is my overall group volume. These things should be listed. So this one, if you need to sell so much in product, then, is it really an affordable option? Probably not. This one over here is actually one I used to be a part of and got screwed on. And one thing I noticed about this one is, kind of like this one, they don't really list flat out like they used to. Well, this company used to list things out really nicely like this one, but because people were realizing that, oh my gosh, this is such an impossible amount, and I believe it was around $1,200, which is insane for having to do sales right off the bat, have now just listed it as, you get this % in commissions. And then you're like, oh, this looks really great. But then when you really piece it together and look at, oh, I need to sell $1,200 worth of product a month in order to make rank and then move up, and I can easily slide back down, then you go, okay, this is a business that is for themselves and is kind of shady. So definitely, if they're not listing things out like this and they're just kind of listing it in words, it's right above it, then it's not a good sign. And this one is interesting because this one talks about how you need to have loyal customers right off the bat. If you want to get in rank and move up, that you need to find customers, and it needs to be, so much. And so it says 400 personal bonus volume for the month, which means basically $400 you need to spend, or you need to find customers right off the bat. And this isn't a good sign. Again, if they're telling you, if PGV is a thing or central team volume is a thing right off the bat and you just started, this is not a good sign. If you need to sell so much in product right off the bat, this isn't good, because you're not having anything coming in yet. You just started. So again, I did not list the names of these direct sales companies because I'm not sure about a conflict of interest, but just so you guys are aware, if you've seen these before or they're ones that you're a part of, have been a part of, then you kind of know what we're looking at here. The next thing is to look at the rank of the top earners. And so if you notice, we don't have 4 anymore because one of them doesn't list the average income, which again, if they don't, it's usually a bad sign. It means that no one's really up there. So this is per year, and the top rank is $585,000, which that's not bad, right? And then if you look over here, you're looking at about 567,000. And then if you look over here, this is at 271,000. So these aren't bad, but if you're looking, I mean, the percentages are pretty low here. And then they're not even listed on here. So definitely, yeah, it's nice. That would be great money to have. But again, if we go back to the previous slide, I mean, it's really making it hard with the sales quotas to make that rank. And so again, red flag, that's a warning. So we did happen to, start searching and see, is there anything out there? And we did find a company that does do the following. They allow their PV to count towards PGV. Their PGV kicks in late in the middle, and they make it obtainable and affordable because you are able to afford it easily at that time. This company has no parties, they have no ads, no cold marketing, no buggy friends and family, no social media needed, and it's essentially risk-free. I mean, you can always send your kit back in 30 days, and they have it set up where it really is possible to achieve financial freedom in around 6 to 7 weeks. And they give out bonuses, rewards, retreats for each rank, and they actually recently added more bonuses because they want you to succeed, which is obviously a good sign. So let's take a look at the compensation plan. If you'll notice, there are 6 rows and 6 different columns. Most direct sales companies tell you that you need to find so many people and you need to send them out and go find just as many people. So this company tells you you need to find 6 people as your downline, and you need to train them to go find 6 people for their downline, and this process is repeated. So that is why you see the 6 different columns and the 6 different rows. So you have your 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they will find their 6. So this is the first person, this is their 6, and the second person, their 6. So there's 36 people in this row. And then this continues on all the way until you reach the Royal Crown Diamond status, which is the highest status or rank within this company. And you'll notice that that's at $154,000. In the beginning, there's not much to be made, $78, $372, $660, but it's still a nice amount to, take home. And then you'll notice around silvers, when you start making money, you're at $2,800, and then gold, you're at $6,200. Platinum, you're at $16,000, and then this goes on. This company also does not have a PGV, as mentioned in the beginning, so the first 4 ranks are completely blank. You don't need to worry about it. There's nothing there. And their PV stays at 100. So consistently, it stays at 100. It doesn't move up. It doesn't change. And if we go down here, you'll notice that the average monthly income is around $152,000. And the highest is actually $262,000 a month. And the average annual income is $1.8 million. So that's a good sign, and it's actually the highest one we've seen so far. This company allows you, as we had just talked about, that if you find your 6 within a week and your 6 find their 6 within a week, and this process is repeated 6 to 7 times after signing up, you can achieve that Royal Crown Diamond status, which is the $150,000 a month we had just talked about. So if we go back here, like I had said, there's 6, they find their 6, this is each week, and like I said, within 6 weeks, you're reaching the status. And all you're having to worry about is finding those 6 people and then meeting your PV. Now, the company, I'm going to announce it finally, is Young Living Essential Oils. And a lot of you think, oh, they must just sell essential oils, how boring. Well, they actually have a makeup line now. and they have a health line, a pet care line, and they have an infant line, and they have a cleaning line, and they also still have the essential oils, but there's so much more to this company now, and they're always adding new things. So it's a great company to be a part of. They aren't just limited to essential oils, but they have a great business plan, which is obviously the first and foremost thing we should be focused on if we're looking for financial freedom. So how is Young Living different? Young Living formula is literally set up to just find 6 to join under you and then spend a small amount on products each month. There's no customers, there's no parties, there's no Facebook ads, no cold marketing, no bugging friends and family. The monthly average of the top earner is $150,000. The PGV does not kick in until silver, and it's around $1,000. Other direct sales companies, it's around $3,000 and up, and it usually keeps growing. Products, there's over 8 different lines of products. Others, there's usually around 4 lines. The year, they were founded in the 1990s. Other direct sales companies were founded in the early 2000s. Perks of Young Living, they tend to give out a lot of free products. Other direct sales companies, it's kind of you buy and you get what you pay for. Bonuses happen right off the bat, and there's a ton of them, and they're usually a higher cost rate. And then other direct sales companies usually don't get bonuses till later. They're less, they're lower. And I know a lot of you see ads out there and they'll say things like, oh, there is a $50,000 bonus, somebody's going to get it. And what that usually means is they take $50,000 out of $1 million they just made, and they split it among all these people. So you probably get like $100 out of that big bonus. Marketing, Young Living doesn't require any marketing. You don't need social media. You don't need any of that. Other direct sales companies, it is a constant thing. You constantly have to be promoting, advertising, this and that. With Young Living, marketing is not essential to succeeding in this business. So let's look at the compensation plan. Again, we had just looked at this. Your PV is 100. It stays at 100 in the beginning. And your personal group volume is non-existent, so we don't worry about it. And like we had just looked at, start is around about $78. But Young Living has a bonus where we'll look into that in a little bit, where you can make basically $300 if you find your 6 people right off the bat. And so you get the money to pay off your starter kit, and then the next month when you have to pay to meet your PV, you already have that money. You still have $150 left over, we'll say, and you can use that money towards your PV. So you're not losing any money at all, and you are prepared for the next month. So you're not really sacrificing anything. And the next set of ranks is silver, gold, and platinum. Now you'll notice this is when PGV kicks in. And as mentioned, one of the things to look for when looking for a direct sales company is, does personal volume count towards personal group volume? With Young Living, yes it does. This counts towards this. So your personal purchases count towards your sales. And we saw that silver was around $2,800 and gold was around $6,000. Here's what's so great with Young Living. They say, hey, we get that, 1,000 PGV or $1,000 is a lot of money. I mean, it's definitely something to go, oh my gosh, that's so much money in products. And what they do is they say, hey, you're making $2,800, and if we deduct $1,000 from that, you have $1,800 left over, which is nothing to smug at. I mean, it's a nice amount to still have left over. But they actually have you not worry about PGV at silver because they let everyone under you. So everyone who is executive and under you, they basically are going to count, they're basically going to count towards your PGV. So everyone under silver on your team is going to count towards this, and so you don't worry about PGV at silver. It's just not an issue to worry about. When you get to gold, the hope and expectation is that your downline is now at silver, and so they will get to count their downline towards PGV, but you no longer get to. However, you're making around $6,000, right? So $1,000 off of that, you still get $5,000 to take home. So you're still taking a good amount home. And then at Platinum, you're making $16,000. And let me tell you, you're not going to miss the $1,000 off of that. You're still taking $15,000 home. What's nice, you'll notice that this is consistent. It stays at 1,000. No matter how high you get, this stays at 100. We go to the next set of ranks. Again, stays at 1,000, stays at 1,000, stays at 100. This company is for you. They're not trying to up, the sales quotas, and it doesn't change with rank. They'd keep it extremely consistent and extremely affordable. Again, you're not worrying about that till you're making around $6,000, and you're not really missing that 1,000. And 1,000, yeah, that's a lot to pay in products, but the great thing about that is that's a chance to give back. They have laundry detergent, they have dishwashing soap, they have toothpaste. There's so many great things that you can give to a charity, an organization, a family, a friend in need. There's so many good things you can do with that. Even if you want to splurge on yourself, you can, or if you want to do birthday presents or Christmas gifts, like this is an easy way to definitely do it. And it's, like I said, it's a way that you can avoid completely because, again, PV counts towards PGV. You can avoid parties, you can avoid the ads, you can avoid cold marketing, you can avoid all that stuff doing it this route. And you get to give back to greater causes out there. So it is a win-win for everybody. So here, if you're into the whole math aspect like I am, you can pause this section and look at how the personal volume and organization group volume plan sets up. If you look here, you have your PV, your OGV, and your PGV. So if you're really into wanting to fact check and make sure this works out, you can pause this section and go through it. I won't go into it too much, but here we are back at the compensation plan. And again, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. They find 6. If this happens in 6 weeks, then we're right back at the, hey, you succeeded. You're at Royal Crown Diamond. You're making that $150,000 a month and everyone's happy. So you're just finding your 6, meeting your PV, which counts towards your PGV, and that's it. That's their formula. It's that simple. So here are some of the bonuses. You can pause it and kind of look at it more. You can look it up online. This is a new program that they did because they want you to succeed, and you'll notice it says fast track. Obviously, acceleration is key to everything. If you find your 6 real quickly, you train them to go find their 6 quickly, everyone moves up super quick, and they get all these bonuses right here. You'll see a Fitbit, you'll see an iPad mini. There's so many cool things you get. And then this is the starter bonus we talked about, that if you find 3, you get 150, find another 3 right away. So say you find 6 total, you get $300, and the 150 is going to cover your starter kit, and then it's also going to take care of the next month's PV. So there's a couple different starter kits, and I definitely realized that, 160, 150, that's a high amount, and I totally get that, it's a couple dollars more than the average starter kit. But like I said, you can easily make that money back real fast. And when people complain about paying money for a starter kit, they're really saying, I don't want to spend the $150 to make the $150,000. I don't want $150,000 because I don't want to spend this little bit of money that I'll get paid back for right away pretty much. And so I get it's a very temporary investment. It's not even something you're going to totally lose out on. And if we go back to the beginning of when I start talking about this, you can send it back after 30 days if it's not working out for you. But there's so many great things you get. There's a great line of makeup, there's cleaning products, there's all the oils, the diffuser. So many great things you can get for that amount. And so this is a starter kit cost. This is what you'll pay when you first start up. And then the next month is 100 PV. So it's a temporary investment for a lifetime of financial freedom. So a lot of people will say, you know, I don't have the money, I'm not interested right now. And so most of us don't. And I listed a couple ways in which you could, you know, get the money if you needed. So donation of blood or plasma can pay up to $70 a week. There's always items laying around our houses that we can sell. Paycheck, sometimes they'll let you do a tax-free paycheck, and you'll have to change a form and then change it right back. I know at a hospital, if you're an employee, you could do this a couple times a year when on overtime and there's no penalty. I used to pick up a ton of overtime, and I knew if my check was going to be good, I would change my tax to be exempt, and my paycheck would be really big, and I would just change it right back. So you can try doing that. You can cash coins at a bank. There's always banks that are saying, hey, we'll give you $200 if you open an account right away. And again, they offer a full refund back if the package is unopened within 30 days. So if you're really stressed about that and you feel like you're not succeeding the way you would like, then there's a full refund. The next thing people are going to ask is, how do I find my 6 people? And there's direct sales groups on Facebook. There's people who are in direct sales now. You can ask them, hey, how's your business going? Mention how you came across this free education video and thought of them. And you can follow up after that. You can reach out to others who are business oriented. They may not be people you're close to, but they're people who are business savvy. And then people add random people all the time to try and recruit. Use those random ads and direct them towards this opportunity. And furthermore, we have actually on the site a members area where we can really help direct and guide you to succeed in this business. And that's kind of where we're going to wrap up here. I know this has been a long presentation, but the thing I ask, we're not here to pressure you into this business. This is just an option we found, and we're telling you, hey, this works. And if you want to pause parts of this video, if you want to take the time to research Young Living yourself and see that business, it really is easy as just you find your 6, you train those 6, go find your 6, and you try to do it at an accelerated pace. So if you bust your butt, trust me, I'm an introverted person. I don't like talking to people. I like my quiet time. I like my space. I like my bubble. I'm really not a very social person, but for a week I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to as many people as I can. I'm going to direct them towards this video. And, you know, it's really empowering to be able to show people this opportunity. And I come from a background in which I made, you know, almost 6 figures a year. And I was so set in my career, and I was moving up and doing so well. And I actually got diagnosed with a rare genetic illness that has really overtaken my body. And the one thing that really broke my heart is when I would go to my support groups, there are so many people there that can't afford their medication. They can't afford the medical treatment they need, and they can't afford to be independent. They have to move back in with their parents, or they don't have the support that they need. And so it is absolutely heartbreaking when someone loses their independence and they can't afford the treatment they need to be somewhat independent again. So this made me really sit down and think, because I had lost so much myself, how can I help other people find something that is actually legit, that is easy, that isn't going to make them kill themselves or, you know, turn relationships sour. And I really took the time to study this, and I encourage you to do the same, to study and educate yourself on the background of not just this company, but any company you decide to go into, and to not let fear reign. Ask yourself, would this be a good opportunity? Is it achievable? What are the risks, you know, versus the benefits? If you do decide to join our team, We really try to make it so easy so that you just have to worry about finding your six. That is the hardest part of this whole thing, is finding six people. After that, it is so easy. You maybe spend 10 minutes a month, 20 minutes a month ordering your products. That's it. That is your job after finding six, is just to order products a month. That's it. Like I said, on our team, we offer you an easy introduction, an easy setup, so you can just direct people here. We've done all the hard work, all the groundwork. We have a members only area to stay updated, to answer questions, to help you, to mentor you. We have a free planner. We do prizes. We do retreats. Our method allows you to give back to charities and organizations. Our method allows you to not have to worry about parties or ads. We also offer free insight on how to live a healthier life, not just using the products, but just in general. I'm very self-conscious when it comes to health, and so we have meal plans, workout plans that kind of help you live a healthier lifestyle, not just financially, but in every aspect, physically, emotionally, mentally. And again, it's just, we make it so you just got to worry about finding your six and meeting your PV for the month, and that is your job. That is it. And I get how overly simple that sounds. It definitely sounds like a too good to be true thing, and that's why I encourage you to do your research, check it out for yourself. You can double check and make sure we're legit. You could check with whoever you want to check with, and there's going to be people who tell you, oh, you need to have parties, you need to do this, and as we talked about, that is a thing that was caught wind from the 80s and 90s, but really we make it so easy so that we've done the setup for you, we've done the hard work for you, and we really want to make it easy so that you can actually enjoy life. You can enjoy life as you are meant to enjoy life and do the things that you're meant to do. No one is meant to work 50, 60 hours a week. No one is meant to struggle as much as we struggle in today's economy. And if you're interested or you have questions, you can always message me personally on the contact form. I'm here to help. I can do everything I can possibly to get you started and help you get to where you need to go. So you can click on the Get Started link if you've done your research and you're like, hey, this is for me. You can share this video with others who are in direct sales or who may be interested. Either way, like I said, if you don't decide on this company, do your research, decide what's for you, but we really hope that you consider this is a great opportunity, and direct sales does not have to be over complicated. It can be really simple, and this is a really simple form, and this checks everything off the list. And it's not a matter of it's this company or this product. It's a matter of what business plan works, and this is one that works. So we hope you'll check us out. Message if you need anything, and I can't thank you enough for tuning into this ridiculously long presentation, but hope that it helps you in some way. Thanks again.